Hello everyone, today we're talking about the Canon R6 Mark III, a camera that at this point exists only as a rumor, an idea, a concept, a ghostly JPEG haunting the forums. Now, I know what you're thinking. Haven't you already made videos about this, David? Well, yes, I have. Several, because every time I think that the rumors are done, Canon Rumors drops another breadcrumb. And like some sort of desperate tech pigeon, I come back to peck at it. Now, according to those same rumors, the R6 Mark III could appear any moment now, which is great because the R6 Mark II has been out for about 5 minutes. And apparently that's long enough for the internet to decide it's completely obsolete. Of course, none of this is confirmed. It's all speculation. But in the world of camera rumors, that's as good as gospel. Provided, of course, that you never fact check anything. Rumor says that we're getting a new stacked full-frame sensor somewhere between 24 and 32 megapixels. That's Canon's way of saying, yes, we'll give you more detail. But not so much that the R5 Mark II files a complaint. Being stacked should mean a faster readout and less rolling shutter, so your sprinters and your cyclists, they won't look like they've been digitally liquefied. Frame rate, up to 40 frames per second in electronic, and maybe a mechanical shutter if Canon hasn't decided to quietly delete it like it never existed. If it does stay, expect around 12 frames per second. If it doesn't, well, silence is the new sound of progress. Inside, it's rumored to run Canon's Digic X with an accelerator chip, which sounds less like a camera processor, if I'm honest, more like something Vin Diesel would whisper about in Fast and Furious 12. And that combo should mean faster autofocus, smarter subject tracking, and maybe even AI that recognizes facial expressions, which is perfect for catching the moment an athlete realizes they've just been photographed blinking. Canon's IBIS is staying at around 8 stops, which is frankly absurd. You could handhold a 400mm lens during a small earthquake and still get a usable shot, assuming of course you survive to post it. Body-wise, expect something that looks a lot like the R6 Mark II. No surprise there. Same ergonomics, same general shape, just enough tweaks that reviewers can say it feels a bit more refined. And there's talk of a higher resolution OLED EF, so you can view your crippling financial decisions in glorious 5.76 million dots. The R6 Mark III might do 6K RAW 60p and 4K 120p, which is excellent news for people who buy sports cameras and then they film houseplants in slow motion. Personally, I would just be using it for YouTube. I mean, for sports, of course. I mean for sports. And if it does record clean, sharp footage without overheating mid-sentence, really, that's all the cinematic power that I'll ever need. Now, let's talk about the battery, storage, and the price. You will get the same familiar battery that you can find on the R6 Mark II, still dual card slots, but this time maybe one CF Express Type B and one SD card, because Canon loves giving us one expensive slot and one, for the peasants. Price, somewhere around $2,500 to $2,800 US, roughly the cost of a decent lens, a plane ticket, or 3 months of pretending that you're not broke. So when is it coming out? Word on the street, or more accurately on canonrumors.com, is that the R6 Mark III could be announced on November 16th or November 26th. 2 dates, because even Canon's release schedule is now available in choose your own adventure format. It is also rumored to arrive alongside 4 new RF lenses, one of which is the 300-600mm, which sounds exciting until you actually think about it. a variable aperture super telephoto that starts at f4 and ends at good luck under the stadium lights. That's not exactly the sport shooter's dream. Great for wildlife, maybe, but for football or rugby at dusk, you'll be shooting at ISO regret. And that focal range, it's like Canon asked, what if we made a lens that is both too long and not quite long enough? Still, it's nice to see Canon doing something different, even if that something isn't really useful to anyone who spends their weekends trying to track a striker under floodlights. So why does this all matter? Well, the R6 Mark II was a massive hit, fast, light, and just affordable enough to make you feel, well, financially responsible for not buying an R5. You didn't actually save money, of course, you just redirected it into lenses and buyer's remorse. So the R6 Mark III has to hit the same Goldilocks balance. Speedy enough for the pros, affordable enough for the mortals, and complicated enough to make you feel clever for understanding half of the menu. If Canon gets it right, this could be the perfect middle ground camera. The one that does, well, a bit of everything without setting your credit card on fire. But if they don't, well, there's always another rumor. Or, you know, Nikon and Sony waiting patiently in the wings ready to whisper, "We told you so," while you quietly Google how to switch lens mounts without losing friends. So that's the Canon R6 Mark III, the camera that might exist, might not, or it might just be another elaborate social experiment by Canon's marketing team. If it does turn out to be real, I'll be back pretending I knew all along. If not, I'll still be back because apparently this is just what I do now. Don't forget, like, subscribe, and may your autofocus always find something meaningful to lock onto. Hopefully, not Steve. I'll see you later, guys.